Alrighty. So, have you ever been on a slide before? It's like the greatest things in the world. Because you start standing up here and you're like, okay, I'm going to go down this slide, I'm going to go down this slide. And you get to about here and you're like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing in the world. But then you get to the bottom and you're like, oh, ride's over? Can I go on again? Yeah, so we call things like this the average rate of change. And you did this in class today. We were growing the weeds in class. So when you have an average rate of change, it talks about how something changes over specific intervals. Change is not always linear. As you've seen, it could be quadratic, it could be exponential, it could be root, it could be, oh boy, there's nonlinear functions galore, cubic, quartic. So we want to find out what the rate of change, what the slope would be over a certain interval. So this graph is pretty neat. When you buy a house, and if you know somebody who owns a house, you can talk to them about this idea. You're going to buy a house. Let's just say the house costs $100,000 and you have no money. So what you're going to do is you're going to take out a $100,000 loan. And you're going to have 30 years to pay that off. So maybe you pay like $500 a month. Here's the problem though. You will not pay $100,000 back to the bank. They will collect interest, and you will pay back about $300,000. It stinks. Yeah, so stay young. It's great if you stay young. And the reason why is because if you make a payment each month, let's say each month you have to pay $500. Well, the first month of that $500, $499.75 of it will go to paying down the interest. So you might be paying 50 cents of your $500 to pay down what's called the principal of the loan. And then as time goes on, you pay more and more principal because you're paying less and less interest. And that's why the graph starts off with a very gradual curve like this, and then it starts to pick up and get really steep. So the last couple payments you make, again, if you're making that $500 payment, maybe $490 of it are going to paying down the principal of the loan, and the other $10 goes to the bank as interest, because the bank has collected all their interest already. So that's the story of home ownership. Ask a parent about it. Now, what we want to take a look at, though, is to estimate the average rate of change between years 10 and 15 and years 20 and 25. So let's go to the big graph. You got yours on your page. So let's go here and say, I'm going to use red here. So in year 10, I'm up here. Let's estimate year 10 to be about $95,000. So think about that. After paying for 10 years, you've only diminished the loan by $5,000. That super duper stinks. And then the next is 15. And let's say it's about $90,000. So let's find the slope between these two. So if I do my slope of 90,000 minus 95,000, divide that by the change in the x values, 15 minus 10, it looks like that's going to equal about negative 1,000, which means that our payments, the amount we owe, decreases by about $1,000 a year. That really stinks. But it gets better. Like all things, it gets better over time. Check out year 20. Year 20 looks like we owe about $80,000. And out at year 25, let's make it easy. Let's estimate that at like $55,000. So the rate of change over that 5-year span. So now we'll do 80,000 minus 55,000. And we'll divide that by 20 minus 25. Let's see, 80 minus 55 is 25. So we get 25 divided by 5. So this is equal to a negative 5,000. So what that change means is now the rate of change is about $5,000 per year. So your rate of change has increased. Instead of going from $1,000 a year, it's gone off to about $5,000 a year. So hopefully you see the power of the rate of change, how it estimates curves using a linear type of relationship. That's the idea behind the average rate of change.